Okay, hi everybody. This is a complicated lesson, all right? It is solving a quadratic in the form of ax. So there is something in front, there's a coefficient other than 1 in front of the x squared. The last chapter just had 1, but last section. Ax squared plus bx plus c. This is on page 510. So in this example, notice that it's not just x squared plus 5x plus 3, it's 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. These are tricky, okay? So be sure to create a table. Trust me on this, all right? Create a table where you're going to have the factors of, you multiply a times c. So a times c, a, this is a, that's b, that's c. Whatever a is times c, in this case it's 6. So the factors of 6, 2 times 3 is 6, all right? What are the factors of 6? Well, and notice that they could be, we'll talk more about this, it could be, well, 1 and 6. And what are 1 and 6? What are the sum of the factors? They add up to 7. Okay, you could have -1 and -6, all right? And the sum of those would add up to -7. Okay, what are the other factors? Factors being what times what, all right? I mean, what plus what? So a, if a was, well, sorry, hold on. When you add up the factors of 6, which is factors of 6, what times what equals 6? 1 times 6 equals 6. -1 times -6 equals +6. 2 times 3 equals, sorry, -1 times -6 equals +6. 2 times 3 equals +6, and those add up to 5. They add up to 5. And the other possibility could be -2 and -3 would add up to -5. So -2 plus -3 equals, these are factors multiplied together give you 6. Where do you get the 6 from? I multiply those together. All right. The reason why this is important, we're looking for the one that gives me that value. All right. So these are the factors that of 6, and where do you get the 6 from? 2 times 3. That add up to this b value. That's the goal. Okay. So when I write this thing down, I've got 2x squared plus, this is a step you don't need to do, but this is, well, I guess you do have to do it at this point. So I can split the 5x into 2x plus 3x. 2x plus 3x, those are those two right there. Those are those two. Plus this 3. Okay. Again, where did the 2x, this 2 right here, and that 3 right there, that 2 right there, and that 3 right there, they add up to 5x. Now, to factor this thing, I'm going to group. This is tricky. I'm going to group these things, and so I'm going to group this. This just takes practice. 2x squared plus 2x. I'm going to group those together, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. Plus 3x plus 3. Why did I do this? I can factor out. Notice that this term right here, this is 2x times x, and this is 2x. These two terms have 2x in common. They have a greatest common factor. Greatest common factor, GCF. Greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. And so this is 2x times, well, if I take 2x out of this, what's left? X plus 1. You should always double check that you did that right by just mentally multiplying this back in. What's 2x times x? 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. So I have factored out 2x to the side. And over here, what's the greatest common factor of that term? 3, because they both, each term has 3 in common. So and I did double check. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, that works. Why do we do this? I know there are other ways to factor, but that's not the point of this lesson. Okay. Notice now that we have x plus 1 and x plus 1. Those are now, these are common factors of this whole thing. I can factor out x plus 1 to the side here. X plus 1 factors out. And what's left is 2x plus 3. Again, this is a tricky topic. And that's completely factored. Okay? Let's just do another example. How are we doing on time? Okay, we have time. So let's do I just want to do a bunch of examples. Let's just go down here. So 5x. So let's go 5x squared minus 13x plus 6. Okay, well let's do a table. So we want to find the factors of, what are the factors of 5 times 6, which is 30. So again, you multiply a times c, and that goes right here. A times c is 30. What are the factors of 8 times c? Well, you have 1 and, this is going to be, by the way, these have to be negative. I can see that in a second. But you can do 1 and 30. And what's the sum of the factors? And the one I'm looking for, you add 1 and 30, you get 31. I'm looking for negative 13. That's my goal here. Well, I could have done negative 1 and negative 30. All right, because those multiply out. Negative 1 times negative 30 is positive 30. And those would add up to negative 31. Well, that's not negative 13. Let's try, 30 could be 2 times 15, which adds up to 17. Okay, that's not negative 13. And wait a second. Oh gosh, yeah. I sometimes I'm an idiot. So you could try negative 2. I'm spending too much time on this. So that's negative 17. So you see the other factors, we could have 3 times 10. And that adds up to 13. Hey, I'm on to something. Negative 3 times negative 10. What the heck is this man doing? These are all factors of positive 30. Two things multiplied by themselves give you 30. and this is going to be the one. Negative 3 times negative 10 is positive 30. Negative 3 plus negative 10 is negative 13. Whew. Finally got it. So the factors of this thing are going to be 5x, well, negative 3, negative 10. So 5x squared minus 3x minus 10x plus 6. All right, because those add up to negative 13. I'm going to rearrange these things because I want to arrange them in such a way that I can, they have a greatest common factor. And so I can see that 5x squared and 10x are going to have something in common because of the 5 and the 10 and the x's. All right, 5 is, 10 is twice 5. Same thing over here with the negative 3x and plus 6. So let's do this. I'm going to group this like this. 5x squared minus 10x. So I'm just regrouping these things. Plus negative 3x plus 6. We have a 5x in common here because this is 5x times x. This is 2 times 5. So I can factor 5 out, right? And I can factor an x out. So that's going to be x minus 2. Let's just be sure I did that right. Because 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x. 5 times 2 is negative 10. All right, that works. Over here, again, this is tricky. It's a tricky section. I'm going to factor out negative 3. What I'm looking for is x minus 2. How do I do that? If I take negative 3 out of this, I'm left with x, because negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And I'm left with 2. How the heck did I get that? Well, multiply it back in and see if you get plus 6. Negative 3 times negative 2 is plus 6. It works. And why did I do that? Because now I have a greatest common factor of x minus 2 for each of these. And so now I have x minus 2, and what's left is 5x minus 3. That is factored. I am going to stop this and just do another video so the video doesn't get too long. It takes too long to upload. All right, so let me pause this here and stop this here, and then we're going to go on to another video, all right, part 2.